A recent fact finder investigation looked into an alleged multi-billion-dollar catheter Medicare fraud scheme targeting Medicare beneficiaries. Since then, we have heard from dozens of you reaching out with similar stories.
Yeah, we are hearing your stories, and those stories are making their way to the Kansas Senior Medicare Patrol Group that helps victims report this fraud. Dylan Domingue joins us with what they say you need to do if you believe you're a victim of this. Dylan?
Mike, Rachel, we were told the Senior Medicare Patrol Group has been flooded with calls from Kansas wanting to report Medicare fraud. The quickest way to spot if you've been potentially impacted: thoroughly check your Medicare statements. If there's something that appears off, including medical equipment that you didn't want ordered under your name by a company that you don't recognize, immediately file a fraud complaint. The Kansas Department of Aging and Disability Services told us that they help these victims report their fraud or scam concerns directly to Medicare and the Office of the Inspector General. If you have Medicare and believe you've been impacted, you can call their toll-free number at 1-800-860-5260. We also found another safe option includes getting a new Medicare card. Many of you that reached out to us saying that you received a fraud bill more than once said those bills stopped after getting a new card.
Thank you, Dylan.